last weekend, Amy said she could hear the conversation. And I'm thinking maybe that's it. That's my computer speakers weren't. Because I'm not at my house. I'm at the apartment.
Oh, all right. Let me see. I kind of want to bring up kind of stats for the last video. We're at 72 views, I think.
Yeah, that's what I saw earlier today.
72 views. I did post it on my Twitter. Has a little bit more outreach, even though it's as popular as it used to be. I don't know if that did anything, but 72's gone up from what the 40 or 50 we had before. I don't think much news happened today. I do want to say, if anybody does watching, I have it in the stream, the Discord link, so people can come in here and talk and chat. Also up there is Facebook and YouTube coming soon. Not Facebook, YouTube. Facebook and Twitter is coming soon. And then when we get our individual ones, I'll put it up there also. Other than that, I guess we can somebody can start. I rather get the Chili Bowl out of the way since that was the major big thing. Nothing major.
Okay, are you going to start with the music or?
No, I already done it. It's already done. Already good to go.
Okay.
I've like I said, this is already recording, ready to go.
Okay.
But I just said that's what I wanted to get going. Main topic I would rather do is get Chili Bowl and then go from there. Not much happened this week, but there was some notables, I would say.
Right. Definitely. I didn't watch the Chili Bowl.
I didn't either.
I did find it kind of neat that for the first time a female made it to the final.
Yeah, Kaylee something.
Yeah, right.
I
thought that was kind of neat.
I think I have it wrote down in my notes. Let's see. It was Tanner. Yeah, Tanner Thorsten won. His background is like he is dirt background. He did World of Outlaws. He last drove in the trucks in 2018 for Young's Motorsport in the Chevy number 12 and 20. The results, I'm not going to go all the way down, but I'm just notables. Whereas Christopher Bell was second, Kyle Larson was sixth, Ricky Stouthouse was ninth, which he actually came in out of nowhere, from what I understand. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Ryan Newman, and Chase Briscoe did not make the final race. Chase Elliott had a flip, actually, apparently.
I was going to say, I think Chase had quite a little accident, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a flip, but he's good, apparently. Big deal.
Yep. Okay. Well, as with Frank, I didn't watch it either. I've just been kind of paying attention to the headlines that have come out, and Tanner Thorson, that was a new name to me. I had to actually look it up.
Yeah.
But that seems to be a lot of the headlines this week are people that I had to actually look up.
I thought it was cool. It's not a cup guy. It's not a known guy. So that could catapult him back into trucks or maybe ARCA. So I think that's that's good for him. Like Kaylee, I forgot her last name, but that puts her on the spot.
Kaylee Deegan, yeah.
No, it wasn't Deegan.
Wasn't it?
No, Haley Deegan is the Xfinity driver.
okay.
Kaylee, it's Kaylee something.
Oh, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember seeing her name as well.
Kaylee Bryson.
Okay.
Yeah, Kaylee Bryson. She'll probably be up and coming soon now since she put her name on the board there.
Right.
Okay.
I tried watching it myself. I couldn't find anything. I wasn't gonna go buy a special subscription just to watch it. So I just essentially
exactly. That was my attitude. If it had been on ESPN or something, I'd probably
for being this the Super Bowl of of these cars. I don't know why it's not being televised. With the big names that are in it.
Definitely some big names playing in it.
Yeah, absolutely. What, like you said, Chase and all them guys. I mean, Ryan Newman. Was Casey Kane in it?
He did, but I don't think he made it. Yes, he was in it, yes.
Casey Kane's going, we talked last week, he's going full time in those midget things, the dirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Other than that, that was the one main thing I wanted to get out of the way. If somebody else has the next topic.
Uh,
Go ahead,
there-
Frank.
okay, I'm going to go with. We talked about Ryan Priest last week.
Haha.
Eric Amarola announced his retirement.
Correct. This kind of
Okay.
makes it kind of goes in line of why Ryan Priest is there.
Right. Ryan Priest is going to get more seat time this week because he's also running a few races for Workware Racing. So
Yeah, isn't he trying to qualify with Rick Ware at the Daytona?
I believe so. I believe that is correct. And he is going to race along with the already slated 12 races he was going to run. He's going to run. I didn't see how many numbers. I didn't read the article, but he's going to run several races in the Cup Series for Rick Ware Racing this season to prepare him and get him used to seat time in his new car.
Yeah, I seen that as well.
I did see a comment on the Facebook article where someone randomly made a comment. They opened a seat for Haley Deegan. Negative. She's not ready for Cup yet. She's got a few more years.
Oh no, I don't think so.
This actually opens the seat for Ryan Priest and gives him another shot at the Cup Series in a decent ride.
I've heard three names for that ride. Ryan Priest seems more logical since they're kind of grooming him for it, but I've also heard Riley Herbst, which is a sledgehammer, Stuart Haas Racing, kind of like Chase Briscoe coming up guy from Xfinity, and then I've heard Matty D, but that one's just like a more Hail Mary thing too. But Ryan Priest,
love to see Matty D in that ride.
Those are the three names that when I started researching all this of who's going to be in Eric's
Matty
ride.
D's a good. I like that. He's going to go a full year in the trucks this year, and that might be part of the plan.
But also, 2023, Kevin Harvick's contract's up. So is he going to retire? Going to extend it? That's another spot that could open up too.
Right.
I think Kevin Harvick's got to ride with Tony Stewart for as long as he.
Oh, I
it's kind of
agree,
like a Jeff Gordon, Rick Hendrick
Right.
relationship.
But he's publicly
That's the way.
He's come out and said that he ain't going to race for much longer because Delaney or whatever is going to make him stop soon enough.
Right.
But he wants to concentrate on his son too.
I think, my opinion, the first time Kevin Harvick gets a championship, that's when his going to be his retirement announcement. I think he's trying to stay in it long enough to get that job done. I don't think he wants, and this is not a slam at either one of these guys, but I don't think he wants to be Mark Martin.
He has a championship.
With no champ. Mark?
No, Kevin Harvick.
Kevin.
Did he?
Yeah.
When?
He won it in the Bud car. 29 Bud car. Was it? No, it was the 4. He won. Back after Stewart. He's won.
Did he win one with Stewart?
Yeah.
Okay. That slipped my mind. Then I take that back. Maybe he will retire because I was under the impression that he had not had a championship yet.
Yeah, he's won. Kevin Harvick, number 4 Ford.
I'm looking it up.
8 years ago.
All right. You're right. All right. Did I stand really stupid and corrected on that one? Because for some reason I don't recall that. But good for him.
Yeah, I think he's won. He won or I know one.
2021 NASCAR champion.
Not 21. That was last year.
Okay, we're saying that's last race.
All right. Get serious here.
Yeah, really.
Where am I going? It's going. Tony Stewart won in 2011. Then it was Brad Keselowski. Then Jimmy Johnson. Kevin Harvick won in 2014 in the number 4 Chevy.
Right.
Harvick. Now, what I'm looking at is he won the Cup Series in 2014. He won the 2001 and '06 Xfinity Series, and he was the '07 Daytona 500 champ. So his win, his championship was in 2014,
Correct.
and that would definitely have been with Tony Stewart.
Yeah, that was number 4, Tony. Or that was
Yeah, and he
Jimmy,
was
Brad, Tony, and then it was nothing but Jimmy and Jimmy before
yeah.
Right.
2014.
Okay.
He's
Well,
won one. Yeah.
he's got his son Keelan, or is it Keelan?
Yeah.
Feeling.
Yeah, they're getting him going too. So maybe that's going to be his new mission in life. And God bless him. Like I said, I've always been I don't want to say a closet Harvick fan, but
He does bring
that boy came into NASCAR Cup Series the hard way. I mean, it's tough to get in a car like the 3 car, which is what the 29 car at Childress was. After what happened to one of the all-time greats and most popular and the man's man Dale Earnhardt. That was hard, and I'll never forget that.
And then he won. Came what? Darlington with Gordon. The battle was it Darlington?
No, it was Atlanta. The next week at Atlanta,
yeah,
and
that
he
which was
won,
which
racing
was
Gordon to the line,
which
and
was
he won it.
crazy. Yeah.
Yep. But like I said, he came in and he was great. I mean, that was one of those situations where he could have done a lot of things wrong, and
Yeah.
I think he did everything correctly.
If you want to watch really cool backstory on that, he was recently on the Jail Junior podcast, and what I like about Junior, he likes to dig about information he doesn't know or really know, and he digs into the situation of when Earnhardt died, when he went to the office, who he talked to, Richard Childress. It's actually really interesting about the situation that led up to him getting to 29. So that's like anybody.
What did he do it with Earnhardt's blessing or something? With Junior's blessing?
What do you mean?
Well, you said that Junior went to Childress. Or
No.
something
On Junior's podcast, what I like about his podcast, he goes about information that's not really known. So he's asking Harvick about the situation which led up to him getting into the 29, replacing his dad after he died. And what Harvick talks about is very obviously known now, but it wasn't known, and it was pretty cool him talking about it. I had to find the clips or something in video and send it to you guys because it's pretty interesting because he went in there and it was like a ghost town, and he was like Richard Childress hasn't slept for days, obviously, because his number one driver died, and his
best friend, hunting buddy.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting from Kevin Harvick's point of view explaining it, how he got in the 29 where he wasn't. I wasn't ready, but it's either this is my shot or I don't have a shot. Essentially, is how he took it. So it's pretty cool listening to him explain it.
Oh, that's cool. All right. I want to get this one out of the way real quick because I'm pretty excited about this. And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with Ware Racing. David Reagan is going to run the Daytona 500 with Rick Ware. And
yes,
I don't care what anybody says. I think David Reagan is a pretty good racer overall. Some people would probably make the argument that he's another Michael Waltrip as far as only performs on plate tracks.
Yeah.
But I think that's great, and they're also talking about him running more races with Rick Ware as well. So
we talked about David Reagan last weekend.
Yeah, but I don't think it was announced that he was actually gonna.
It wasn't.
Make. Yeah.
We mentioned his win for Front Row Motorsports.
With Gilliland pushing him.
Gilliland, right. So this kind of neat how that kind of played out. But I'm glad to see him back in a rod.
Yeah, me too. And it looks like I got a feeling that this is probably going to be determinative on his performance in the 500. that he's got an opportunity for, I don't want to say a full-time ride, but definitely more races down the road. And, it's one of those situations he wins. He may have, I'll never forget Trevor Bain. He was doing a one-off with the Wood Brothers
On it.
in the
Mhm.
21 and won the Daytona 500, and that landed him a full ride for the whole. I think that's when the Wood Brothers basically came out of semi-retirement, is after they won that Daytona 500, and they put Trevor Bain in that car and said, "All right, boy, let's go the rest of the year. You
Yeah,
can't
didn't
just
they
go."
run a part time? Weren't they running a part time season for a few years before that?
Yeah.
They were, and Trevor Bain signed a one race contract, if I remember correctly, with the Wood Brothers to run the Daytona 500. And then he ended up winning it with Gordon pushing him across the line, which was ironic, Ford and GM or
Yeah,
Chevy.
it was
But
back then. It wasn't very much of like it is nowadays with Fords versus Chevys versus Toyotas. Back then, it was whoever got, especially at the very end. They don't care. Do what you need to do to
yeah,
win.
One of the reasons I think Gordon pushed him at the end and didn't try to go around him on the last lap was the fact that it was a Wood Brothers car, and it was him being a racing fan thought it would be neat to have the Wood Brothers back in victory lane and at Daytona 500.
well, and
I think
give
that's
Trevor Bain the shot, and I think it is
right.
also nothing but total respect for the organization.
Right.
Okay. I want to bring up one more little quick hit, and then I've got some other stuff, but I'll let you guys go. And I'm sorry, just to me, this is funny because I have a lot of issues with 2311 Racing and the whole reason they're on the map and the money, where they're getting their money. And I don't want to get into anything other than, do you guys know that they're still looking for a charter for Kurt Busch, who's a former champion? They
Mm-hmm.
don't have a charter for that car, but they got one for Bubba.
Well, Bubba's had his, but
Right.
I heard. I don't know when I heard this. It was a while back. Is the charter they were trying to get for Kurt? It fell through. I don't
I
think.
think it was to come from Rick Ware, if I'm
Yeah,
not
I don't
mistaken.
know
And then
exactly what happened. Yeah, they were going to acquire somebody, and I don't know if whoever it was pulled out. So they need to figure something out or Kurt Busch ain't riding.
Well, no, it's Kurt Busch better
He's not guaranteed a spot.
qualify
Yeah,
every race
yeah.
because he's not got the automatic in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I find it funny because of the sordid history of Kurt Busch. I find it funny because, like I said, I'm not going to get political on this, but the circumstances are what they are for that whole organization. So I just thought it was interesting that you would think a former champion would. But it's funny. Ever since Kurt got pulled over for that DUI in Arizona years and years ago and got all belligerent with the cop, he's been able to come back and ride, but he's not had anything solid or steady or long term.
His hard-headedness is also a big part of that.
I agree.
I'll say this as well. If I'm an owner, if I'm going to put my faith in either Bubba or Kurt to actually qualify into a race, I'm going to put it in Kurt.
Bubba's got to ride no matter what because of the whole
see-
Black Lives Matter and
Right.
and
But what I'm saying is Bubba's guaranteed a spot in the race because of the charter.
oh yeah,
I got to choose which driver I want to put my faith in qualifying for the race. I would do it with Kurt, not Bubba.
And see, this is why I like old school NASCAR. If you're a former champion, any race you show up for, you're automatically in.
Right.
Yep.
That doesn't work anymore. So, all right, where do we want to go? We covered Eric Amarillo retiring. So, what do you guys got?
I've actually got two and not real big deals. I just think it's kind of hilarious the kind of people that NASCAR attracts. And I just read earlier another update on this one. Frankie Muniz is looking to start a NASCAR team.
he just took a drive yesterday in ARCA.
Correct. I was going to bring that up.
It's Muniz.
But I read-
Yeah, it's Muniz Racing. Is what he's calling it.
Right.
He's looking for. He's on Twitter asking for sponsors at the.
Right. Okay. Another person which I found interesting that I saw looking to get into NASCAR is Renee Gracie.
Porn star. Yep.
Correct. But she's also Australia's first female supercar driver. So she raced in supercars, Australia's first female supercar driver, and now she's looking to get into NASCAR.
Yeah,
So she has. I think it's weird, but she does have racing experience.
yeah, I heard about that
All right, I
last
just
week.
pulled her up, and all it shows me is naughty pictures.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, no, I heard about it last week. I don't know much about it. I heard that that was the last week conversation, but we ran over 20. Not really ran over, but we went over.
okay, I didn't know. I saw it this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that one up.
Yeah, I really was. I'm really more interested with Frankie Muniz because he has money and knowledge, I guess.
Right.
The other one, I don't know. I think she's just trying to get in it. I don't know.
Right.
But yes, I did hear about that last week, but I didn't bring it up. I still have it on my notes.
Frankie, I thought the Frankie Muniz. I remember watching the TV shows he was in. So.
Yep. But he went. I don't know if he's driving or he's gonna try to have a driver. But he took a drive in an ARCA car yesterday.
Is he from Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes.
Yes.
He's the Malcolm in the Middle. Actually, Malcolm from the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, son, just sit down and get somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, that sounds funny. I don't know if he wants to do it. I don't know, but I know he took a drive in an ARCA car.
There is a picture of him in a fire suit.
Yep.
I'm wondering if he didn't race in that Toyota Superstar Series on the West Coast where the actors race.
I'm seeing stuff come up about a head injury and memory loss.
Yeah, he does. He actually did an interview, which is kind of crazy. I didn't research any of this. This all came up recently. He doesn't remember anything about the show. He does not remember anything. I don't know exactly what happened for the head injury or what, but when people talk about the show, he has no clue. He can go back and watch it. That's it. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't remember anything.
All right, I just pulled up something says that he's an actor, a race car driver, and a musician, and his team
Muniz
is
Racing.
Jensen Motorsports, Pacific Coast Motorsports, and Team Stargate Worlds. Okay, I guys, I'm learning with you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I said, I kind of did a little research today because I saw the Muniz his going into the ARCA thing. All I know is he was on Twitter asking if anybody's looking to sponsor drivers, hit.
Okay. Now I don't know what series this. All right, Toyota Pro Celebrity Race.
Yeah, that's that one I was trying to think of.
Okay, in 2011 he was second. In 2005 he was third. He's entered 53 races, had 4 podium appearances, 0 poles, 0 fastest laps, and has never won a race.
You know what? I'm okay with
like
him.
I said,
if he wants to start it, go ahead and go ARCA. But other than that, you need to hire somebody.
But he got his head banged.
I agree. I don't know when it happened, but like I said, NASCAR tweeted about it. And then literally he quoted the tweet and says, "Let's go racing, boys. If you know anyone looking for a sponsor or looking to sponsor a driver, send them my way so I can fulfill this dream."
Well, I seriously hope he just wants to finance the situation and put a driver in there. Because let's face it, if you're doing this celebrity, whatever it is.
It's actually not a bad race. It's very competitive.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I've watched it one year, and it's like a street course type thing, a road course type thing.
The only way you're going to get my attention on that is if Paul Newman's in it. Actually,
he was in it one year.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I heard.
Remember.
Yeah, that's something I had last week, but that's new.
That the actor that played Screech raced in it, and several other actors have raced in it as well.
Huh. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't remember anything. Give me a wheel.
Yeah. You need to sit down with Earnhardt and talk it out.
Yeah.
A little driver news. Spire Motorsports announced that Josh Bilicki will be driving the number 77 for the 2022 season.
Yep.
With Ziegler Auto, I think is a sponsorship. I think that's what I have down. So that's the teammate of Corey LaJoie and the number 7. So at least he's got a teammate on the track now. I think that's a Chevy. I think Chevy's there.
It is. It's a number 7, and I this caught my attention too, Brian. It's the number 77 Chevy for Spire Motorsports. He drove for Rick Ware last year, but I recalled the name. I couldn't put a face on it, so I looked it up. And believe it or not, the boy's got 71 starts over the last 5 years in the NASCAR Cup Series. That surprised me because again, I've seen that name, but I couldn't remember whether it was a truck or Xfinity or ARCA or something. I guess the stat that surprised me was that he started 71 times in the Cup Series, and I'm like, okay, I didn't.
A lot of times these drivers that get these third-tier teams, and we'll pass over their names because we're looking at our favorite driver or the superstars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually don't hear about those names unless it's on a super speedway where they're, up in the pack.
Right.
Which is kind of a good segue to they had Daytona speed test this week. And I have a little note here. Guess who were the 2 fastest drivers?
Harrison Burton and
Right,
Austin Cindric.
Yep.
No, Cindric.
Okay.
Austin Cindric. Both fucking rookies. And you know what they were doing? They were tandem. They learned how to do the tandem with those cars.
Well,
Wow.
I've got it pulled up right here because I knew we were going to touch on this. I was shocked at the speed differences between day 1 and day 2.
Huge. It's like, what, 10 miles an hour?
11, 12 miles an hour.
Yep.
Now, check this out. Harrison Burton ran and was fastest on day 1 at 184.2.
Correct.
On day 2, he 184 would have been 13th spot.
Yep.
Then you had Harrison come back in the second practice on day 2 and run 195.
And that tells you that car is fast because it was on both days. It wasn't just something that they changed and made. It was both days he was number 1. I thought, hey.
They were turning some pretty good speeds. There was no 200s, but those speeds from the first practice on day 1 tells me.
And they were both a little
scared, a little shy.
Well, they said, this is a new car, so they're trying to push it. And there's another subject about this I'm going to bring up. It's white knuckle racing. They said it's not just ride and drive anymore. They're on edge with this car right now because they're not comfortable with it and the way how they're on edge. So, and they're doing pack racing both days, but those 2 figured out how to do the tandem, and it wasn't like they were leaving the pack, but they were doing tandem, and that's how they got the 2 fastest. But I thought it was great for both rookies and Harrison Burton in that 21.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. And like I said, the top speeds on the first practice of day 1 were around 184 plus. Second practice, they pushed it up to 190, 187. Day number 2, they come out of 195, 195. It was incredible how they increased it on day 2. But again, they had times to, have meetings of the minds. And like Brian said, I think they figured out a little bit of the tandem racing end of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder that rear view camera, if that doesn't help with that tandem racing.
I bet you it does because that allows a front driver to be able to drag a little bit, just to get a little bit closer because the guy who's pushing can't see all the way, but the guy in front can literally see where his bumper is, so he's dragging.
Well, and you're 100% correct. In that tandem racing before, the driver was the second place car.
Yeah.
Now the front place car can see what the back car is doing and kind of help adjust to help him out too, and also to keep that guy off of his left rear. Because when you see that tandem racing, every time a whole cluster happens, it's when that second car gets on the left side. of that lead car. So I think this is a win-win for everybody because again, the guy that's second, doing the pushing, I don't think there's much advantage there for him. But the guy leading is the guy that now can actually play an active role in setting this up versus hoping like hell that the guy behind him does the right thing. He can actually help position.
Excuse me.
But yeah, I was just really shocked at the speeds between the second day and the first day.
Well, the first day I think they got testing. The second day they got that testing data and implemented changes to the cars. And I saw videos, I think on TikTok or Twitter, whichever. They learned how to get the car to crab walk again with the way how the car is. So I don't know if the NASCAR is going to change that, but they got the car going sideways down the straightaway, getting ready for the corners. So I don't know if they're going to change that.
No, they got 21 or 22 days to figure it out. So
which brings me to the next subject. Hold on. NASCAR teams are saying they don't have enough cars. They don't
have enough parts.
They don't have, there's shortage of the next gen car. And NASCAR promised each team to have 5 of them before the start of the season. And this is another reason why testing isn't going nearly as well, because they're afraid they'll damage their cars. Because they're short one for the season. So that is a huge concern.
I saw where they're thinking about making the Daytona 500
the
or
old
not
car.
making the Daytona 500 winner, put the car in the museum for a year because they're afraid they may need the parts.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, it's all supply right now. So I don't know what they're gonna do for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Now they got the Coliseum now, which they're gonna bang the shit out of those cars.
Yeah, they are. Better take something that you can throw away.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do. What happens if there's a wreck, and I don't know. They got some supply issues to get going, and that's on NASCAR for. They're the ones to supply the stuff.
Right. Instead of letting the teams do their thing like they've been, build their own frames, build their own cars, and NASCAR wants to make this happen. They got to step up and make it happen.
Yeah, they do. They need to figure it out. I got one more thing on the Daytona 500 interesting things that I've seen, and then I'll get off that because I do have one more subject, but I want to let you guys talk. I was really pleased to see Mr. Jacques Villeneuve is going to attempt the 500 with a brand new team. His number will be number 27. The team is Team Hezeberg. It's a brand new. They have no charter. He's got to qualify his way in. It's going to be a Ford. And depending on his performance in the Daytona, another one, they may attempt more races down the road. And I just thought that was cool to see him.
Right.
And to me, I'm going to tell you straight up, I think it was a fair trade. Him for Jimmy Johnson. You guys can have Jimmy. We'll take Jacques. All right. I'm done being a smart ass.
This really isn't but as far as the racing season. But I ran across the interesting fact that Jeff Gordon still owns half of the 24 car.
He does.
Yeah.
And then he's also listed as currently the second wealthiest driver in racing.
Is that all from racing, or is broadcasting too, or?
It says racing. I don't know, but it could be his total assets from racing, from broadcasting, from being part owner of the car.
Well, I can also tell you, as a North Carolina resident, Jeff Gordon has a car dealership in about 6 different towns around here.
Yeah, he has. He's making money outside.
Raleigh, Wilmington.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
He's used to be, when we first moved down here years ago, you'd see Hendrick Chevrolet. And they're still there, but Jeff Gordon's got his own dealerships going up all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not just Chevrolet. He's selling Hondas and Toyotas and anything. I mean, I see cars going down the road, brand spanking new in my town with Jeff Gordon Honda on them, or Jeff Gordon Chevrolet, or
Yeah.
the only
Well,
I will say the only one I haven't seen yet is Jeff Gordon Ford. I have not seen that one yet.
it's probably in the works. Look at
Yeah.
Penske.
Yeah.
Look at the dealerships Penske has. So doesn't Penske own one of the largest Toyota dealerships in the world?
I have no
I
idea.
think
In the
you're right
country?
on that,
Huh?
but
I think it's in the country. One of the largest Toyota dealerships in the country. I think it's owned by Penske.
yeah, I couldn't tell you on that one. I just found it
I read
interesting
that a
that.
couple years back. I'm not sure
Well,
if it's still true.
I said you mentioned, and I'd love to see that stat, whether it's his overall net worth or just. I mean, I got to believe that it's probably that stat of his overall, because I can believe that. As far as an actual race car driver net worth, yeah, he's going to be up there in the top tier. And by top tier, I could, 15, 20, whatever. But as far as the second wealthiest so-called NASCAR driver, that's got to include the money he's made from Fox over the last couple of years, his dealerships, branding of his name.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
not to mention he's, what, vice president now of Hendricks.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
so he's gonna be there. He's gonna take over Hendricks here in a couple of years. So
Oh, he's gonna own Hendricks
yeah.
Motorsports because there's nobody else. I mean,
No.
there was one other guy, and he's not with us anymore.
Yeah. 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 It's
So
definitely gonna be Gordon taking over. I see Jimmy Johnson coming back when he's done doing his stuff and gonna be involved in all that. Just like Chad Knaus is the leader of race competitions or whatever.
yeah, he's moved into the office now and doing some things.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they always say the biggest cheaters move up because they know.
Yeah.
And I don't care what I mean. I'm not taking anything away from Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus because they were good on their own merit, but man, did they stretch the boundaries.
Well, look what Gordon and Ray Evernham did. Same thing. He knew what he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, well, it ain't cheating if you don't get caught, right?
Nope, he's just bending the rules.
Well,
Kevin Harvick and his crew chief did it last couple years ago with the rear fender. They'd bend it out to give it more downforce. No one really knew about it.
yeah.
And then NASCAR caught on that they were doing it purposely, so they said you can't touch it unless it happens in the race.
Well, and I'll never forget, I think it was either at Texas or Talladega. Knaus had done something with Jimmy Johnson's car, and he won that race pretty handily. And he got caught on a hot mic. He thought it was on a private channel telling Jimmy when he was doing his burnout circles, make sure you crack the wall.
I remember that one.
So, hey, but I've said on a couple of podcasts ago, I appreciate the 3 mile fuel line and wrecking your grandma to win. And, hey, this sport came from a bunch of moonshiners that were evading the law. So now
Right.
NASCAR is the law, and they got to do what they can.
Yep.
Okay, you got something else? I got one more quick thing. Jeffrey Earnhardt is
Yeah, that came
poking
out.
his nose out of the dirt again.
Yeah.
Sam Hunt Racing, Xfinity full time in a Toyota. I think it's good. I like it. I hope he does something with this opportunity.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that he's going to do it in the Xfinity and not gum up the works in the Cup Series. Because the last time or two that he tried to do something, it was in the Cup Series with way more money than what I consider available talent. But I like it.
I don't think he's ever been in quality enough equipment to make a difference. I'm not sure. I don't know much about his driving talents, but I've never seen him in a ride that was up there in top tier. So, you know,
You know, I'd have to actually let me keep talking. I want to see something here.
I guess I can bring up the next topic. It's nothing really big, but it's going back both podcasts. But Brandon Brown sponsorship is actually a 8-deal figure for the next 2 years. I don't know if that was brought up or not. It's a mixture of cash and the crypto, so it's not going to be 100%. So it's going to be both of those. I guess that's a little bit update on that, but it wasn't anything serious. And Sonoma Raceway came out this past week and saying, because they took out the chute in 2018, and now they're bringing back the chute. And
I saw that. That's going to be nice.
They're bringing it back because it was in there for 20 years, so they're bringing it back, which is, that right there is not even, but it helps play out the field who can do it better. So they're bringing it back. So I think that was a little new up, it is news, so it's something to just touch on.
something else I saw. I know he's not everybody's favorite driver. Was Bubba Wallace missing a lot of the testing due to a shoulder surgery, and they're questioning whether or not how much time he's getting in the car before the race.
My question is, did he hurt his shoulder? Why did he need it? Did he hurt it in the off season, or couldn't he?
I don't remember.
Or
I remember seeing that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Couldn't he? Why did he wait so long to get the surgery? Couldn't he got it right at the end of the last season and he'd be good now? So why did he wait? Did they just find something? Was he, because a lot of people that, look at, Kyle Larson and all them, they're racing. So did it get hurt doing that? But I didn't hear anything. So why did he wait?
Yeah, I didn't see why the surgery was needed or whatever. I just saw that they're questioning his time in the car, in the new car, because he's missing practice time because of the surgery.
I hadn't heard that.
They're not missing much.
Right,
They're going to take Kurt Busch's data anyways.
Right, that's all they're... Well, again, I promised I'm not going to...
I think that is all I had for mine. Yeah, it was a chili bowl. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything I had. Because it wasn't really much this week because it was all chili bowl stuff, but there's some minor things that came out. There really wasn't anything crazy news-wise.
There wasn't a whole lot.
No.
Yeah, I like the timing of the fact that Ryan Preece announced his contract last week and Eric Loma announced his retirement this week.
Yeah, when that came out, I'm like, shit, that makes sense. Like, I can, they're going to get him groomed to go into that. He's going to get associated with everybody in this Stuart Haas. He's going to get seat time in those cars. He's going to help test those cars. And I'm like, man, he can get right in it next year. So
you remember last week we were questioning, what is this?
Yeah.
Why, and now it makes a lot more sense.
Correct. Now they're getting a driver a year ahead of time. So they knew about this. And Eric, it's pretty much his contract's probably up. And instead of him losing a ride, he says, hey, screw it, I'm retiring.
I'm not so sure that he would lose a ride. I mean, he's got the sponsor, Smithfield?
Yeah.
That they followed him into Stuart Haas.
And I think I read they're leaving with him.
Yeah.
Are they?
I think so.
Okay. He wasn't with Wood Brothers. Where was he at?
Petty.
You're correct. It was with Petty.
Yep. He was with Petty, and then Bubba came in.
Oh, speaking of Petty, I didn't write it down, but you just jogged my memory. The Air Force is coming back and sponsoring Richard Petty's cars this year.
Cars? Both?
Isn't there two?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is it both of them?
They said and again, I'd have to look it up real quick, but we're trying to wind this down. But yeah, the U.S. Air Force is supposedly coming back and gonna be in partnership with whatever Richard Petty Motorsports is these days. I know we discussed that, and I can't bring it up off the top of my head.
I think it's Petty GMS now.
Yeah.
I think.
Air Force sends its partnership with Richard Petty. It just says the number 43, not 42. 3 car. Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, they've extended. I'm trying to figure out how many races.
I don't remember last year seeing him on
I don't
the
either.
car at all.
Like that's why I was
I
wondering
don't.
what races. Is it the Daytona? Is it a Bristol? Is it a special?
I didn't watch enough races to be able to tell you one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extended the number 43.
Okay.
Alec Eric Jones. And then that's Talladega Super Speedway, April 25th, and Bristol Motor Speedway, September 18th. 2 races.
Hmm. I thought it would be more than that, but hey, at least they're going to be out there. So.
Yeah.
Talladega and Bristol. That's what I was trying to figure.
Okay.
13 consecutive series season Air Force being a sponsor, y'all. Only 2 races.
Well,
Yeah.
they need to step it up a
that's
little
good
bit.
news. At least it's sponsorship.
It is.
I think now that Eric has maybe this new car and he's got a teammate now, maybe he'll perform a little bit better. Because last year was kind of lackluster. Car finish very.
No.
There's another
Well,
sponsorship I saw earlier, but I don't know who.
let me see something here real quick. Because it's bugging me, I can't pull it out of my head.
Also, there's a little bit of Newman news. He says he's going to be racing, but he's going to be doing it for fun, and he's not retired. He's just essentially just riding around till maybe opportunity comes, but he's obviously
Like the dirt track stuff, I think I said, read.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I read an article today, and I wish I could pull it up, but he seemed a little irritated because it sounded to me like he wanted to do a farewell tour or Ryan's last ride and he wasn't afforded that opportunity. Kind of to me like Roush blindsided him
Well,
with this
I
Kesel.
kind of took that differently. He said there wasn't a final ride or retirement tour because he wasn't retiring.
yeah. He says he's not retiring. He just doesn't have a ride, or no one's
Yeah.
giving him a ride.
One of the things, the way I took it was there wasn't one because he's not retiring.
Okay.
So what?
I just kind of got I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but I kind of think he was a little irritated that maybe you're correct that he wasn't retiring and thought he had no issues getting picked up by somebody else.
I'm surprised no one's picked him up. I really don't. I don't know why somebody's not giving him a try for Daytona and then go from there like a one and done, and then we'll see. I don't know why.
No, I would think one of the third tier teams would take that as an opportunity to put him in
Yeah.
the Daytona 500.
Yeah,
Even if it's like a second car, a one time thing, like you said, just go in there and see what you can do on my equipment. Tell me what
I'm
How can I-
I'm surprised no one's. He's probably had somebody reach. I don't know why he's not taking anything right now.
I couldn't tell you. I was surprised as anybody that he doesn't have plans in the Cup Series for this year, but
with the man's money, he could almost probably fund his own one-time Daytona ride just to get out there.
Yeah, but he needs to get
Yeah.
the car and the parts. He didn't, it's
Right.
short-handed right now or short in supply.
Right. Yeah.
You need to find somebody who already has the car already ready to go. I'm sure he could. I guess maybe there's some other thing is they announced there's a concert going to be happening at the Busch Clash.
Oh yeah, what Ice Cube?
Ice Cube, yeah, Ice Cube's
Yeah.
performing.
That's so 1980s. I mean, come on, man.
They're trying to appeal to all that.
To who? People my age? I mean, come on.
Demographic, I should say. how I should different demographic.
Have the military bands do it and the flyover, and you're going to get more fans than if you put Katy Perry and Ice Cube up there. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
It's gonna be kind of like a Super Bowl halftime. NASCAR announced today that Ice Cube will perform during the race break at the Busch Clash at the Coliseum on February 6th. Performance will be shown on Fox.
Okay. Well, I still, per our conversation last week, I still don't get this Coliseum crap. I just
They're not gonna.
don't.
They're not gonna get up to speed. It's gonna be nothing but banging and beating on cars. They don't have parts to replace. You're gonna see people not even try to race because they need the cars. They need
You're
the
gonna
parts.
have. I'm sure they're not gonna take that car and try and run it in the Daytona, but you still got the logistics of getting the personnel. You're dragging them away from the track that they need to be concentrating on
Across
for the
the country.
500.
Yeah, it's not even near.
You know, so you're losing two or three. Well, not in airplanes, but I mean, come on. You're changing the focus from a super speedway to a one-off.
Short track type thing to back to super speedway. And before the Bud Shootout was at Daytona, so it was actually up for the cars that were in it. It gave them a test session and and racing environment, not just practice.
Exactly. And I know people that they go down to Daytona for 2 weeks and camp on the infield for all of this.
Yes.
The qualifying, all this, everything that goes on in speed weeks. And now you're putting it on the other side of the world. What are you thinking? Like, you're gonna drag fans out of California? Seriously? I don't know. Maybe if you went out there and did a race with Priuses, you might get something. But
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't. They have better tracks to appeal to than that. Yeah. Put all that money into that. Why didn't you put that into one of these other racetracks they're trying to rejuvenate?
Right. Yes.
The millions of dollars or millions or whatever. Put that in North Wilkesboro. Right there. Boom.
I'm going to bring up one more topic, then I'm done. I read an article about the dirt track, the Bristol dirt race, again, possibly happening.
Oh, it's happening. They're already...
Yeah. My comment is this, okay? The first one was a shit show.
It was a disaster because of the rain.
All right. If you're going to race these drivers on a dirt track, let them race a dirt car.
I agree.
Not the same car that race on super speedways and mile and a half and our asphalt and concrete short tracks. Let them bring a car that's a dirt car to these tracks. Then we'll see some racing. Then it'll be worthwhile watching.
I agree with you, but I would take it one step farther. And what is NASCAR doing on a damn dirt track?
They started on dirt. Why not?
With stock cars. I mean, I get it.
My problem is you're taking an iconic track like Bristol, which already has great racing on its concrete or asphalt, whatever they have on it now, and putting dirt on it. Why don't you go to a real dirt track like Tony Stewart has, like they race the trucks on, and do that?
Eldora.
Because
that would be good.
Why wouldn't you?
Eldora.
Why not? I don't understand. Why would you put all that extra money and time into that track to do that? It's a waste of money because then you put the money into getting it done. It's not just put dirt on it. It's clay, dirt, all kinds of shit. Right. Then just go to a track who's already made that way. They're talking about saving money for all these other people because all the next gen cars and save money and this and that. But then you're wasting money making the Coliseum and then the Bristol dirt track when you could just put that money into rejuvenating an old track which you're going to bring more viewers for that.
Right. Correct.
Oh, I promise you, if you were actually, and again, we had this discussion last week, North Wilkesboro, I think, will at one point in the not too distant future, I think it will be back. They are working hard at that one. But Rockingham, those two tracks alone, you get those back on the NASCAR schedule, it'll be like old Bristol where people put the tickets in their wills, their
Yeah.
season passes in their wills. That there'll be that kind of a demand for it. It's just, you got your Darlington, Rockingham, North Wilkesboro, Bristol, Martinsville. That's what made this, in my opinion, this sport as popular as what it was these short track, rock 'em, sock 'em, bang 'em, bring home the steering wheel as long as it gets across the finish line is all they care about type of racing. And we can talk till we're blue in the face about that kind of crap. It's just, I'm with you guys. Why all this extra added money and expense, and it's not just that NASCAR's putting that out to do these. It's the expense of the teams and the team owners.
Right.
I guarantee you that NASCAR doesn't put them all on a 747 and fly them out to the Coliseum and back for nothing.
They could use that money for better things than that.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if they didn't want to use outdoor, why not? If you're going to do that, why not just build a quarter-mile dirt track just for this, or a half-mile dirt track just for this, and leave it as a dirt track?
I agree.
Put the money in at one time, build it. You have a dirt track for the Cup Series, for the Xfinity Series, and there you're done.
It's like Earnhardt says. Everybody asked him, if you could build one more racetrack, what would you choose? He says, pick Bristol and put it anywhere. All right, pick Bristol, make it a dirt track of that type, put it anywhere. Just build somebody build a Bristol dirt track instead of putting the money in there to take it in, then take it out. That's so much money and so much effort and so much time. Just build it. You're building these one-off tracks or modifying these one-off tracks for no reason. That to me is a waste of money. But then they're preaching, they're saving money with the next gen car for teams and stuff, but then you're wasting it.
Right.
Absolutely. So I don't have any more unless you guys do.
Nope, I think that was pretty much everything. We're at 58 minutes, so we actually hit an hour, which was more than I figured for little news we had or whatnot. But
well, things are going to start picking up here over the next weeks.
Yeah, now that the Chili Bowl's over, all the guys are going to be back testing, and more news is coming out. Ryan Blaney was at the ice hockey team, the Hurricanes, Carolina Hurricanes, and showed off his new car, the number 12. With the Advanced Auto Parts sponsor. So, they're going to be doing tons of more stuff like that, so.
Okay.
Something off the wall that you bring that up about cars, right? Fans are complaining about the color of the Napa car. There's too much white, not enough blue. Did you see that? I started on Facebook. I was like, you got something. I mean, you're going to complain about something, make it something.
I don't know. I was watching the Daytona speed test or whatever, and the one car that was hard to see was the Colleague Racing 16. You couldn't even, from I guess the live stream and the camera angle on it, you couldn't read it. It was number 16. The way that green was, you couldn't even recognize it. It was number 16. Other than that, I don't know if that's just because it's it was labeled Colleague. It wasn't no sponsors on it, just a 16. I couldn't read it until it got really close. That green was.
I wish I'd have watched racing. Some of the practice. I haven't had time.
It's there. It's on YouTube. You can go rewatch it. Yeah. It's on there. It's pretty much.
I might do that at work tonight.
Yeah, it's a live stream, and they, it's nothing serious. It's just them racing or doing whatever, and they have little interviews here and there. But yeah, it was pretty cool to watch, but it was nothing serious. But it was pretty cool.
I'm looking at the paint scheme for Chase. I will say there's a lot more white on there.
Well, he got a lot of flack last year because he said, they said, oh, it's a new paint scheme for Napa after he won his championship, and everybody pointed out that it looked like Ron Hornaday's truck from way back in the early 2000s.
I can see that.
Yeah, and they were saying all that crap.
So what?
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
So it's, in my opinion, it's not horrible.
I'm excited for paint schemes with the numbered move and what they can put the sponsors inside. I'm actually excited for new. I guess they're not even paint schemes anymore. They're wraps.
Right.
Correct.
You know,
What
I
I'm noticing though on this is that, like, where the number would normally go dead center in the door, they've got Napa, and the number 9 is moved up under like the A post.
All the numbers are
Yeah.
moved up.
yeah.
Are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the new gen car. All the numbers are moved up, and then so it leaves more room for sponsors on the side.
I
Okay.
don't find it's such a big deal. Everyone complain about moving the numbers. You know what?
If it brings more sponsorships into it and helps the drivers, I'm okay with it. I don't mind it. It's gonna be weird to get used to, but I'm okay with it. I think it's gonna be cool. We'll see
I
how
don't
it
care
goes.
where they put the number, to be honest with you. I guess this is the first time I've looked at anything that I noticed that they moved the number forward.
Yeah,
It's not something that's big on my list either. Just put the number on the car. Let's race.
Yeah. They put it on the roof and nowhere else. It wouldn't bother me. I don't care.
Yeah, per NASCAR rules, the number had to be a certain size, certain location, and a certain box. Now they moved it forward, and now they're allowing more sponsorship on the sides. Before there really wasn't there. It's more above the rear wheel. Now they can move it to the center of the car, which is smart because when you're watching racing, you're seeing the sides of the car, so it gives sponsorship. Hey, you know, if your guy's leading or it's on the side or near the front, it's going to be on the side, and they're going to see it straight up.
Yeah. Well, I like Let's Go Brandon. He doesn't need anything. He go racing all day long. Just put a number on it and let's go.
He came out yesterday or today saying he wants to change the slogan of Let's Go Brandon to mean something else so he can put it on his car. It's never going to change.
No.
It's never gonna change.
No.
Oh, we can go back
what
to,
you put in your car. You got money to run it. Run it.
Yeah.
or we can go back to the FJB if they like
Yeah.
that better.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they ought to be happy about that. All right, I'm done unless you guys got something.
Nope. Yeah, that was it. We have over an
That was
hour.
it.
That's plenty good. And like I said, I try to keep notes on my phone as soon as I hear something or see something. That's, I guess, something to talk about or topic wise.
I'm old school. I write it down.
I have it on my phone. It's just in my notes on my phone, so it's just like, well, I had it that, but when I'm at work and I hear something or see something on Twitter or Facebook, I just swap to the notes on my phone and jot it down. Jot it down.
Points at work. I'm scrolling through my phone looking for stuff to write down for the show.
Yep. Like I said, I just keep notes on my phone.
All right, bye.
All right, I think that's it, and I guess maybe next we're 3 weeks away from the Clash, so more news will be coming out. So,
Well, I am off next Sunday for sure. I'm not sure about Saturday yet. These 2-day weekends like I got this week are going to happen like every probably third weekend or so now because they laid off some personnel and they're shorthanded, so I'm having to work more weekends.
No worries. Like I said, we'll work